Stole that from Deja. Says, when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me.
Right.
Lord, help us right now to feel your glory.
Please do.
To see you in a different way that we didn't see you yesterday. Lord, we ask that you do something right now in this house that you didn't do yesterday, the day before, last year. We ask that you decrease our flesh and increase thy spirit that we might see you clearly and learn how to love you, dear. Lord, we thank you for an opportunity to give you glory, to bless your name. And right now we need a word that can change our lives, mend our hearts, bring understanding to our minds. We give you glory already. Bless this house. Keep us in your care. Keep us in your hands. In Jesus' name, may the glory fall and never be full. Fire of the Holy Ghost consume anything that's not like you. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Come on, y'all clap your hands and say amen.
Amen.
On your way to have your seat. On your way to have your seats, just look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't tell me to be quiet.
To be quiet. Come on. All right now. All right now.
See, y'all in a hurry to sit down. I said, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't tell me to be quiet. You have your seats that y'all want to sit down anyway. Can I suggest to us this afternoon that in the 1800s, the First Vatican Church was set up where the people remained quiet
Right.
and standing while the Pope sat with his back to them and spoke.
Right.
The problem with this was there was no connection of communication or conviction while he spoke.
Right.
Or they could not see the passion of why he was speaking. So therefore, it was hard for them to enter into where it was he was speaking about.
Make it plain.
People was not given the opportunity to open their mouths for gratitude or come out of different things because they couldn't see the conviction of the preacher that was articulating the word of God. In the 1900s, the Second Vatican came up with the idea for the people to sit and the Pope to stand and face the people so they could see that his conviction about what it is he had studied and been through.
Okay.
They had to see the conviction of what it was that he was speaking, and also it gave them a sense of connection to the words that he was saying.
Okay.
Are y'all gonna talk with me? And today I'm sad to say that the church have reversed it back to First Vatican.
Come on, make it plain.
That no matter how much expression we give with this microphone, no matter how much expression and articulation we give behind our sacred desks, the people still ain't saying nothing.
Come on.
In today's society, we have those that want you to remain quiet and locked up about what God is doing for you. But I came this afternoon today to tell someone your voice connects you to your blessing. Your voice connects you to what it is God wants to do for you. Do I have a witness in here? It activates favor on your behalf. Your voice begins to unlock things that, watch this, physically you sometimes cannot unlock. Your voice begins to shake things off of you. It begins to do things. It begins to get people's attention. It begins to get God's attention. Y'all gonna talk to me when you use your voice of triumph. It's in the word that he says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. You got to open your mouth and say something to God so God can do what you say. Y'all gonna rap with me tonight. Let me suggest to you that things have to change when you learn how to talk.
Right.
Can I preach this afternoon? I plan to do it. Things got to be different when you learn how, as a young age, at an older age, as an old church can join with the new church, when you learn how to articulate what it is you need God to do for you. Things got to be different. Somebody shout preach if you want to hear. What does it mean to have a voice? Voice is the sound or sounds uttered through the mouth of living creatures, especially of human beings. And in speaking, shouting, singing, it's the facility, the faculty or power of uttering sounds through the mouth by the controlled explosion of air and explosion of air and speech. It is a range of such sounds distinctive to one person or to a type of person. The voice is commanding. Y'all talk to me. The voice has power. Look at your neighbor and tell them, please, early. Your voice has power.
Your voice has power.
What am I saying? Your voice has power, meaning you have a voice. You cannot afford to remain quiet when you need God to move in your life. I don't hear nobody, but it's all right. People won't understand you, but you got to use your voice to get what you want. Y'all gonna talk to me? What people think should not be your concern. Your concern should be, I pray God heard me. I hope that God heard me. Can I tell y'all something? I got in the shower again. It seems like God just want to talk to me when rain, just when water fall on me. I mean, he must watch yesterday off of me, so today I can hear clearly. And he said, a bullet without a gun is useless. Meaning, a bullet is non-effective unless you have a gun to retrieve it. I said, now God, why would you bring up a bullet and a gun when I'm trying to leave violence alone? He said, because I want you to tell people that's at Mount Zion, the young people, you can't wear the shirt because you don't have the tool, watch this, to make praise your weapon. Y'all not gonna talk to me. A gun has to have a bullet. Watch this. If the gun is right here, the gun can operate like they do a cock back, but until you put a bullet in it, the gun is non-effective. Okay. So then let me go back. The bullet is non-effective until it's put in the gun. Okay. Somebody shout praise. I need to get this out of here. So what it is if you don't have a voice, your praise is horrible. You can't shouting is not indicative of you putting your feet together and twerking and working it out and doing the thug style. Shouting is attributed to you opening your mouth with a thunderous sound that will come out, that it will shake atmosphere, that it will shake a community. And I still don't hear nobody saying, your praise is nothing if you don't use your voice.
Right, come on.
Let me tell you what the enemy is scared of. I'm going to get to it in a minute. Y'all hold on. But I'm going to get it to you early. The enemy don't care about you being here. The enemy is scared of you opening your mouth. That's why he always fills your mouth with complaint instead of a praise. Because he knows if you stop complaining and start praising, everything about your life got to change. And he ain't in it. So he tries to keep you mute and shut up.
All right now.
Power.
All right.
To hear this. You're giving him power to keep your voice.
Come on.
Oh, hallelujah. Go to Mark. I'm going to preach this for real. Go to Mark chapter 10. I don't want to be here long. I want to hurry up. And y'all not going to shout no way because you came to church mute. You don't really need nothing from him, so I ain't got to worry about preaching a whole hour. I can only preach a little bit. And those of you that get it, we get it and we run. But then those that really find their voice, we might be here an hour. But I'm here at verse 47 and verse 46. Let me give you verse 46 first. He says, then they came to Jericho. Am I preaching to anybody?
Yeah, come on.
I don't want to talk to the people that came with me. They got preached to this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. Am I talking to anybody that lives, that remains in this city? Am I talking to one person in here that say, I'm tired of the devil messing with me? They say, I'm tired of talking the way I'm talking. I'm tired of thinking the way I'm thinking. It seems like every time I say something, it come out wrong and I got to deal with that. I came to tell you, your voice wasn't used to talk negative. Your voice was to say, Lord, it's in your hands, and because it's in your hands, I'm a dance, because the bondage of what they was trying to put on me just came off me. Lord, if it causes me to shout till I lose my voice, I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to give you glory. Lord, I'm going to pray like no other, so I can pray like no other. Y'all still sitting there like ain't nobody talking to you. I came to talk to you with power to tell you your voice can move anything you want to be moved in your life. Oh my goodness, preach the word, do the best I can. 47 says, when he heard that it was, 46 said, then they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples together with a large crowd were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. Now wait, because he's sitting there and he's begging. If y'all ready for this, y'all ready? Ready! He's sitting there, mother, and he's begging. Suggested to say that what he was talking about wasn't giving him what he wanted.
Right. Okay. Make it plain.
Oh my goodness, Jesus. You got me something that's going to get me out of it. I'll preach to you, Sean, because they looking at me like they don't like me. And Jeremiah told me to look at their faces. Just say what Jesus told me to say, so I look at you. And it seemed like you're there. He's begging for something. He's asking for something that they don't want to give you. But it wasn't until he heard a different sound that what he asked for now begins to make people scared. Y'all missing it. See, as long as you begging somebody for something that they really don't have themselves, you ain't getting nothing. Oh boy, I feel like preaching. He's sitting on the side begging. He's begging. Let's do an analogy to see what he's begging about. What he might be begging. Can somebody take me to the bathroom? Can somebody feed me? Please, somebody show me which way is right. Somebody please help me up off this corner. Somebody please help me do something different. Is there anybody that can take me to my doctor's appointment? Listen here, y'all. I'm sitting here and I need help, but you don't want to help me. His begging could be, man, I feel like preaching. Jesus, thank you for praying back and making my voice strong. He could have been begging that, hey, I just don't live life like this no more. And I wish somebody would tell me why it is I came out like this. What was he begging about? The Bible says he was on the roadside begging, but when you get to verse 47, something happens that show me that when I change my confession, it changes my atmosphere and changes my situation. Y'all not gonna talk to your boy, but it's cool. I'm gonna preach to the walls. You find out in verse 47, when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout. Now, wait a minute. He's begging changes from begging jokers that ain't no good, ain't trying to help him no way, to shouting to someone he heard to do something different than the ones that was mocking him and making. Have you ever had somebody in your life make fun of you and mock you because you don't look like everybody else? Y'all gonna sit there and that bullshit? I'm gonna talk about you too then. Yeah, but you ain't gonna say nothing, so it don't matter. See, every time you tell get about my face, why hit you ain't gonna hit nothing. Your words don't even got power. But when you add something that you live in and a lifestyle that say, listen, if you want to keep talking, God got you. Then you find out that people will back up off of you because they trying to figure out, wait a minute, why you gotta call God in this? I thought this was between. I'm only talking to the real saved folks like that. I'm sorry. I'm only talking to the ones that really use Jesus, not the ones that use. You ain't moved. But when your voice says no, weapon. Everybody like. You say it for real? Do you want to see it?
Come on. Come on.
People back up off of you when you say the right thing.
Right. Say the right thing. Come on.
Say when you heard, Jesus coming, start shouting, Jesus! I got a story to tell. It's like Elijah, my son, and all these jokers is with me. Sometimes ignore him. He'd be asking for stuff like earlier. He got his mom face, and she said, get out my face. I said, yeah, get out my face. Get in my face. What you want? Y'all will catch this in a minute. Because sometimes you begging people that's telling you to get out their face. But it ain't till you call the one that really got the money. To say I was waiting on you to call me because what you want to ask your mama, she upset about not eating, so she gonna say no anyway. So why don't you come talk to me who got the overall? I lost about 5 of y'all today on the where I just went. When you change, I'm gonna have to preach simple tonight. When you change what it is that you say and how you articulate, you find out that the response will be different. Okay, all right. Look at verse 47. Let me show you something. Verse 47. Come here. I want to suggest something to you that I pulled out the text. That there is a sound that alerts when Jesus is moving. I want to show you something. It said when he heard that Jesus was coming. Y'all with me? Y'all gonna push me to preach? Come on. When he heard that Jesus was coming, it didn't say when he saw. It said when he. Are y'all asleep with me? It says when he heard. That means out of his begging, a sound that he never heard before begins to matriculate, because anytime Jesus came, it had to be a rumbling because there were so many people around him. Can I tell you, you always know when Jesus is on his way, because it seems like everything around you starts to shake. It seems like everything around you begins to be like an earthquake. You know when Jesus is getting ready to come, because it seems like everybody around you start hating on you for no reason. Said when he heard that Jesus was coming, the Bible states he began shouting. When he heard that it was Jesus, gotta get y'all out of here. Watch this. That means my response is directly connected to voice activation, that when I hear of God moving, I begin to lift my voice to let him know I need him. Now, I was studying earlier and I and I said, I got to stop reading because I'm ready to shout now. And I wish I was at church right now because something happened to me. I was faced in a mirror and my Bible was on the counter and I'm just looking at the counter and I'm looking at the mirror and I'm looking at the counter, I'm looking at the mirror, I look at my paper, I look at the mirror, and when I looked and translated what it just said, I start shouting because he said when you hear him and when you call him and you can see him moving or hear him moving, that's when you got to lift your voice. So I didn't know if he was going to move right then or not, so I opened my mouth with nobody around because I came to tell you when you got private relationship, you won't have a public performance. He'll just reward you publicly for what you did in your closet.
Right. Come on.
You're not scared to praise at home. Don't be scared to open your mouth. Yeah.
Right.
You know why? I just heard you, Jesus. I got you. He said because sometimes I send lottery tickets to the church, not the ones you go buy out the store. Sometimes I call people's number when they open their mouth because I'll hear you before I'll see you.
Come on. You better preach.
Come on, preach.
How I knew church was started, I was outside for a long time. I heard the organ
Yeah. Right.
before I saw y'all sing.
Right. Come on.
Y'all gonna be tough tonight for real? I'll preach up off me. Hold on. He says, when you hear him moving,
Right.
that's the time you live your. There's never a time that you should come in this house and don't expect him
Come on. Right.
to move.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Come on. Preach.
Verse 48, because y'all acting like real church folk tonight. I thought we was going to be different tonight. Many rebuked him. I know y'all don't like me now. Many told him, shut up. It don't take
All of that. Come on.
all that.
Come on. All right now.
Many told him, stay where you at. Oh, the Bible's at the Bible. I thought I was at IQ. I'm sorry. Many people rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. Wait a minute. What is it to be quiet? To be quiet, suggestively, is to make no noise. No sound. Nobody knows you're around.
Okay.
To be quiet, especially, is to not disturb. Meaning that you don't make no disturbing noise to even get Jesus' attention when he blesses the person next to you. But I came with a competition today. Can you outpraise the person that's sitting next to you? Can you outscream the person that's sitting next to you? Can you out-holler the person that's sitting next to you? That while Jesus is getting ready to bless them, you tell him, hold up, wait a minute, I'm sitting right here. Why didn't you call my number? I'm louder than the one that's sitting next to me. They ain't saying nothing too nice.
All right now.
I came to make it personal, to tell everybody that got a voice, you better use it or lose it.
Right. You better preach.
This is a different type of preaching.
Come on.
Quiet is to be silent. As I was thinking and articulating some stuff in my voice of triumph, I came up with this idea that the Lord was talking to me in our communication time. And he said, the problem in church and life is we have allowed people to silence us with our own issues.
Right.
Preach, boy, I sure will.
Come on.
We've allowed other people that don't talk good to us to silence us with what we're going through. Have you ever had somebody to pull up your past? And every time you come around, that's all they can talk about. I remember when.
Right. Make it plain.
I'm tired of remembering when. I want to remember now, and I want to understand the future. I know what I know what I came out of. I know what I went through. I know what got I tell you, what got to me to where I'm at ain't gonna get me to where I got to go, because what got me here was listening to you, and now I'm in a place where I need God to do something for me. And watch this, you can't be a part of it, because every time you attach yourself to my life, something about me bad happens. So listen here, take your eviction notice like a woman, take it like a man, because we are over. This relationship is done, because I'm tired of people always limiting my voice to my issue. I can't be better than what I did. What I did was a mistake, and God said he's like an eraser, and he erases it, never to remember it again. Y'all don't have to say nothing. Lord, whatever you was going to give anybody in here, if they don't say nothing, amen, thank you, Jesus, blink an eye, sneeze, or anything, please give it to me.
I second that motion. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Said people in church. That's the reason why it's amazing to me how last year y'all packed this place out.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I know I almost preached almost 2 hours because he told me to go ahead and sit down so the mothers can go home. He didn't even care about y'all. Because after we let y'all out, the young people were still on the altar. I got it on videotape. He just said, hey, let them go so the mothers go home so they come back. They've been here every night, and I thank y'all for being here every night. I didn't get to say that last year. I thank y'all for those of you that came every night to hear me act a fool and show you how much I really love Jesus. I thank you so much, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't like realness. But my question is, if you packed it out last year, why it ain't double packed tonight? I don't care who came. I'm gonna preach regardless. I preach if it was only my church still here. I'm just wondering. Oh, maybe I heard you. You ain't told nobody.
You said.
You didn't make it convincing enough to anybody. Y'all quiet.
Come on.
Because you just content with where you're at. And you just might be mad that somebody gonna take your seat. Somebody gonna outdo you. Yeah, that's why I brought a whole busload to let y'all know we roll as a unit. We got a code.
Yes,
and when
sir.
I praise, everybody got to praise.
Yes,
Just like,
Come
you
on
know
now.
why? Because I understand my voice got power. Tell your neighbor, ask your neighbor, who you plan on talking to tonight about tomorrow? Who you plan on talking and telling that, watch this, God has brought me out of darkness into the light. Y'all don't talk to your boy. God has changed something in my. Who do you plan on talking to cast out the statistic of church that the reason why you stuck where you at is because you letting people talk to you, but you ain't saying nothing. How you gonna tell me about me and you ain't walked a day in my life? How are you going to tell me how horrible I am when you weren't even there when I committed my sin? It's funny how people will make you feel horrible about yourself and you know God forgave you. Look at your neighbor and just say, you know. You know that it was nobody but the Lord that healed your body, but you allow everybody else to still talk about when you was sick and when you was down and when you was stuck in something and when you was doing this and when you used to be high in that intelligence because they have said it so much and you have not argued against it to let them know that used to be me. But wait a minute, I got power in my voice to tell you that the old me passed away a long time ago, and behold, all things become new because I chose to turn my life over to the Lord and let Him work it out. Is there anybody here that can just high five a neighbor next to you and say, neighbor, my voice got power? You know you got some jokers in your life to say you better not say nothing. They gonna judge you. You better not say amen today. They gonna talk about you at the church. We'll talk about me. I'm planning to jump over all benches and everything else and step on you. And if you make me mad enough in my praise session, I'll drop kick you just because you ain't saying nothing. So wait a minute, if I'm walking around like this and I jump up and kick somebody, I'm sorry. I was just going where I heard the voice. I was just going where I heard somebody doing something. It sounded like it was a lot of movement. Didn't nobody come get me. I was just following the voice. You find out how much Bartimaeus really trusts God because he followed the voice. Half of y'all can hear a voice, but you don't follow nothing.
Come on.
It's simply because they don't believe, watch this, you know why they tell you don't say nothing? Because they're going to judge you, because they don't believe that God can really turn it around.
Yeah, right.
So people really insist to come to church without expectation of leaving different. Reverend, they don't want to be transformed.
Make it blunt.
They want to conform. So people come to church not to be transformed, but to conform to the traditional, let's keep it quiet, give me only an hour, and let me out of here, because my TV show is coming on, my roast is in the oven, my cornbread got to get made, my macaroni and cheese ain't all the way done, I got to go to work in the next morning. I sure hope Reverend Son don't preach 3 hours this year and have them kids laid out on the floor and they be running around. The young people, I sure hope he don't call on me and tell me what I did. Well, wait a minute, I brought something with my voice. God said since you showed up with it, he might as well call your number and let you know the bad as well as the good.
Come on.
You try to figure out why ain't nothing good happening in your life is because you ain't saying nothing, because you allow people to make your issue your verdict. You've allowed people to make what you're going through your destiny. You allow people to take what you're going through and make it what it is that you're supposed to be. But I came to serve notice on you and the enemy to tell you what I went through. It's only what I went through. It's not who I am. Y'all. I told them earlier in the Bible when he said, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but I fear no evil. That means I don't walk through death, I just walk where his shadow is, but his shadow can't even touch me, y'all. I'm just able to walk past it to tell the shadow, tell him he can't get me, and I'm going to walk slow. And if you come near me, I got something else to say to you. Y'all didn't preach today, I came from the hotel off 28th Street for one reason, and that is to cancel that idea of negativity that my issue is not my verdict. It's not my verdict. Somebody just say to yourself, it's not my verdict. It's not my verdict. Tell somebody that my issue don't have me. I said talk. That's the reason. Y'all not talking. Look at your neighbor eyeball to eyeball. Look that neighbor in the face. Point that neighbor in the face if you want to, and tell them my issue don't have me. I got it.
Come on now. Thank you, Jesus. Come on now. All right now.
You don't know how to make declaration on yourself yet. You better speak to yourself and say, my issues don't got me. My issues don't control me. My issues don't stop me. My issues don't limit me. I limit my issue. Meaning that when I get tired of my issue, I let my issue go. Good morning.
Come on now. Good morning. Joy comes in.
When I'm tired of going through, I just tell myself I'm tired of going through, so I go somewhere else. I don't let people limit me with my circumstance.
Keep going. All right now. All right now.
Oh, y'all waiting on me to holler?
Right now.
I might not do that tonight. When I'm tired of my issue, I destroy it. I don't know what you do, but I destroy mine. I let mine go. Y'all not hearing me. See, that's the reason why you still with Jim now, is because he's an issue that you allow him to control you when he live in your house. Y'all
ain't mad now. Come on, Jim.
You talking about, I wouldn't do that. No, you wouldn't do that. You only saying that to me. I can't do nothing. nothing. So why don't you say it to him when your voice got power? That listen here, you're not going to talk to me bad another day in your life, or you getting put out. Matter of fact, he ain't married no way. So Negro, get your job, get your bags, get your car, take everything that I bought you and go ahead and leave. I don't need this because guess what? God got somebody for me. I am somebody's real. I was just trying to fit with you because I thought that you was the cage that I fit in. But since I figured out that my measurements are off with you, boom, it's time for new construction. The God I serve said that I don't need you because he'll be my companion if I just hold to his hand. Y'all gonna talk to me. See, when you start saying the right thing, good results begin to come. When you watch this, stand firm on what it is you're confessing. You're confessing the right thing. That's why you're not getting what you want.